We're going to go ahead and get started now, and today's session is being recorded. So thank you for taking your time to join us this morning to learn more about our new public notification app that can be used to enhance your community outreach program. I'm Linda Glover, and I'm the GIS Sales and Services Manager here at Frontier. I'm also the team lead for our GIS services, software development, and water resource products and departments. And I'm your main sales contact for the mosquito control systems. My colleague and co-presenter today is Chad Mentier, and Chad is the Software Solutions Manager and has earned his GISP certificate. Chad and his team have been spending a lot of hours this last year and a half working on our new software portfolio. We've received a lot of great input from many of you that's made our products what they are today. So we really appreciate your input and hope that you keep letting us know what you need to see in the software so you can all be more efficient. And I also really appreciate the work that Chad and the team have done bringing these exciting new products to market. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we get started too. We won't be stopping for questions. However, please list your questions in the questions section of the GoToWebinar window. And what happens is the questions are entered into a spreadsheet automatically. And then right after the webinar, we'll answer questions and email that spreadsheet out. So to get started, this is a diagram of our current product offering. And our new FieldSeeker Core app is a cloud-based system that's based on the Esri ArcGIS Online runtime and uses the cross-platform runtime software as well. It consists of a cross-platform mobile app and also a new JavaScript Office web app that has dashboard and map capability. It also contains workflows for larviciding with storm drain treatment, surveillance, and service requests. And the mobile app is compatible with iOS, Android, and Windows 10 devices. If you want to do adulticiting, you can add the Windows ULV adulticiting extension. It is a standalone desktop system based on OpenGIS technology. So it doesn't require any Esri licensing, but it's totally compatible with the FieldSeeker Core app. It consists of a desktop app and also a Windows 10 mobile app to record truck spraying activities. And today's webinar will show how mosquito control agencies enhance their community outreach programs by using the new public notification app. It is a separate add-on to the FieldSeeker Core system. Frontier's public notification app is a public outreach tool designed to facilitate communication to constituents and members of the public who are interested in communicating or interfacing with mosquito control and public health agencies. The public can use the free mobile app to receive information and enter service requests. And agencies can use the public notification app to maintain governmental transparency and to educate their constituents with frequent communication. With this automated communication, interaction time with agency personnel is reduced, and that frees them up to spend more time on mosquito control activities. The public notification app is a cloud-based system and comes with a web app, which agency personnel uses to manage information that's provided to the mobile app. And then residents download the free Apple or Android app and subscribe to receive notifications for their specific area. The public can enter the requests for mosquito control services by using the GPS location on their mobile device, or they can just click their location on a map. And then a form pops up to collect contact information and allows them to enter a description of the problem, and they can attach pictures. The service request information then flows back to the FieldSeeker core software or other compatible databases for review and action by the mosquito control personnel. The web app is very intuitive and allows agency personnel to manage news, alerts, and maps of spray schedules and zone areas, and also the subscriber list. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the presenter turned over to Chad, and he can show you how the software works firsthand.
Okay, thanks, Linda. Let's see. Let me see which screen is it showing. Make sure it's showing the correct one here.
It's showing your blue screen.
So we'll move that over. All right. So I'll demonstrate the public notification app, the mobile application that the members of the public will download and use, and then the management application. As you'll see, they're pretty simple but pretty full-featured. Then I'll show how the pieces kind of go together, how it interacts with both ArcGIS Online and FieldSeeker. I've got a few poll questions that I'll ask as well. So the first thing, the public notification app itself is available on the Play Store and on the Apple Store. And I want to give credit to Florida Keys mosquito control staff, Beth Ranson, Mickey Koss, and Andrea Leal, for working with us on creating this application for them. The application is on the app stores, branded for Florida Keys mosquito control, and it can be branded for any agency or any operation. So the application itself, when the user opens it up, basically just shows the agency information, and then they can create service requests. They can see recent activities on spray maps. They can get notifications, and there's an option to sign up for notifications. They can get news and updates, and then also the About Us gives them information on how to contact the mosquito control agency as well as Frontier Precision. So we'll walk through some of these things. The service request allows the users to request service, and the information that they enter goes straight into the FieldSeeker system. So this is using some ArcGIS Online stuff to support the entry of the service request. And basically, it takes the location where the user is at and figures out the address, and then they just have to enter a few basic things for the request. So they're asked to put in their name, their phone number, their email. The items with the are marked as required, or there's pretty minimal required entry, but it does require email, contact preference, and then the address and type of request. All of these items that you see kind of on this service request entry form are flexible, and they're taken from the ArcGIS Online web map definition, where we can configure that. So I'll show that a little later. But the service request that gets entered here goes straight into FieldSeeker. If the location address is not correct, then the user can click on the map location and pick a different spot. And then when they go back to the form, that's updated. They can also just type in their address. Sometimes requests are not for a specific street address. They're for a park or a walking trail or some other thing, and that's also supported. They can also take pictures and capture images. So if people in the public happen to be out and about and they see a problem, they're able to report it and also record pictures of it to submit with the request. This is a nice crowdsourcing kind of approach to finding out maybe some new trouble spots or different source types that maybe the mosquito control operations aren't yet aware of. So I'm going to cancel out of the request and not create a new one. Come back to the main menu. Kind of the heart of the system, I'll go to notifications next. is to be able to see and sign up for notifications. So the notifications will list recent notifications that I've already subscribed to. If I'm not a subscriber, then I can basically subscribe. And what that allows me to do is to pick which types of notifications that I want to be notified of. So for Florida Keys, that includes planned and recent truck sprays and planned and recent aerial sprays. And for the aerial, there's two different kinds of aerial sprays that they do for liquid larviciding and granular larviciding. So I can sign up to one or more of these notification types, and then I'm able to select which islands. In the case of Florida Keys, it's based on island. You could think of this as zone or area or community or town. And users can select all of them, or they can just select the ones that they want to sign up for. And then once they're subscribed to those notifications, the Field Seeker system, as operations, enters information and does the activities, then that will kick off notification events that will send the user a push notification through the application. So one advantage to this push notification, as opposed to just having a map on the website or email notification, is that it is a little bit more attention grabbing for a lot of people, because it's proactive, it's a push. They don't have to go to a website to check it. And also that push notification depends on how they have the notification set up on their phone or tablet. That can come across as a banner notification that pops up, or just as a, the little banner number on the app that shows that they have a new notification. Because mosquito control will do operations at odd hours, either early or late as well, they will be able to see the notification when they wake up the next morning on their home screen of their device. So I'll go back to the main menu. The other things that are available, there is a news and updates section. And the news and updates section will give constituents any kind of mosquito control public education information that the agency would like to share. And that can be in the form of a brief text summary, or it can be actually a link to an article or a website or a press release. And so this, as you'll see when we look at the Office kind of management application, can be updated frequently and controlled by mosquito control public information or management. And then lastly, the spray maps allows the users to interact with actual Field Seeker mosquito control data, and to be able to see recent spray activities or planned spray activities. So I'm going to have to zoom out here and get over to the Florida Keys, since that's where this data is actually found. But if we get zoomed in on an area, we can see things on the map. The legend tells us what it is we're looking at. So planned aerial, planned truck spray, recent truck spray, and also they share the mosquito counts. And so if I tap on one of these features so that I can see what it is, it'll tell me what I'm looking at. So here is I think it was a planned aerial spray. This actually is recent truck spray. So there's a recent aerial spray, and it just tells me what product was used. If I tap on one of these other ones, it'll tell me this is a truck spray route, and is it scheduled? No. Also, I can tap on the mosquito count, and it'll tell me what that is. So it was a landing rate of 2 on December 13th. The little maps control allows me to pick different maps and just see one specific thing. So planned aerial spray, or planned truck spray, recent truck spray, or mosquito counts. So it's a pretty simple interface for the customer or the public to see. And in talking with Florida Keys, A lot of the people who have downloaded the app haven't actually signed up for notifications, but a lot of them are either just using the maps to see recent things in their area or to submit service requests. One advantage to being able to see what's going on in your own area is some context for what people might be inclined to complain about. So if a member of the public is experiencing mosquito biting and other things, by looking at the map they can see what might be going on in their area. They can get kind of a feel for whether it's as bad as or worse than or not as bad as some other areas, and they can also see that there is mosquito control activity in the area, and sometimes that forestalls a lot of phone calls, asking for service if they know that there's already a planned service in their area. And again, the key point with this spray map is that this is a live dynamic map. This is actually field seeker data, but as you can see, what's being shared with the public is carefully managed and controlled. So there is only a minimal amount of information shared, nothing about people, names, nothing private, just very minimal, but still informative. So that's kind of the public app on the phone or tablet. And again, iOS or Android and in the app stores, free for the public to sign up for. I'm going to bring over the web management tool, and this is used by the Mosquito Control Agency itself to manage the information that shows up in the mobile app. And so this is a pretty simple application. I'm going to start with just the notification management, and as we can see here, there's 6 different kinds of events. The 5 things that we showed for recent and planned truck spray and recent and planned aerial spray. But there's also an ad hoc event, which could be anything. This notice would go out to all users, all subscribers, regardless of the area that they subscribe to. So if there's an emergency or some other thing that that the agency wants to make everybody aware of, they can do it through this ad hoc event. Any one of these messages can be adjusted at any time. So if we come in to edit this, the actual message that shows up can be changed, and it can be as informative as you like. And then there are some things that can be filled in as wildcards here, whether it's the island name, scheduled date, landing count date, and things like that. So this can be tweaked as customers and members of the public maybe give feedback on what's informative or what's not, or what's confusing. They can be adjusted. The news management allows you to add in news things. That's what shows up over in the news and updates on the mobile app. So same thing here. If we want to add something, here's the headline, here's the details, and it can be just text or it can be a hyperlink taking you to a press release or a website. The section on master data is just the list of islands that shows up. And so this is, could be a list of communities or a list of spray zones or a list of geographic areas. And that's just imported from the field seeker data. User data is just the different users within the organization that have access to this management system. Display subscriber, I'm going to not do that since this is actually using Florida Keys data, so we don't want to show any of the actual subscribers. But you can get a subscriber list and see who all has signed up, get their contact information and emails and so on, and also do some management on those subscribers. If someone calls and wants to be removed, they can also unsubscribe from their phone or tablet. And then lastly, the settings, how long the notifications will show up on the device. So just a minimal amount of choices here, 2 weeks, 1 month, 6 months, and same with the news and updates content. So it's important to update those things fairly frequently and keep the news fresh, but then that just controls what shows up on the mobile app. So the management piece is very simple. This is hosted, actually hosted by Frontier Precision, so there's nothing to put on any servers or anything else like that. And then we just provide the URL to log in and manage it. So those are the apps, the web app and the mobile app. And as you can see, pretty simple but full-featured. What we want to show a little bit of is how that ties in with FieldSeeker or ArcGIS Online. So I'm logged in here to ArcGIS Online, and in ArcGIS Online, we have a couple of the FieldSeeker services listed, as well as some maps and apps listed. So why does this matter? On the mobile app itself, the entry form for service requests, for example, is not hard-coded into the app. It is controlled by the web map definition. So if I find out, based on user feedback from the public, that the data entry form is a little bit confusing and it needs to be changed a little bit, or it needs to include some other information that I'm not currently including, then I don't have to request that the app be changed or that the programmers make an enhancement. I can come into the web map and I can go to the service request pop-up and I can make changes right in there. So which fields do I want to show, what order, what label does the public see? I can make those kinds of changes without having to change the application. Similarly, the map that the customer sees for the recent spray activities, if I need to make changes there to the symbology of things or any other thing related to the map, then I can come in and make those changes in the web map. And so again, it's dynamic and flexible because it's based on the ArcGIS Online web map definition. A couple of other things that are part of this picture. What is it that kicks off the actual notification? So in the case of Florida Keys, they have a web app also built in ArcGIS Online where they come in and edit truck spray routes or aerial spray blocks, and basically they mark them as scheduled. And so, for example, if I come in and pick this truck spray route, and they can search for the routes by name or by island, make it scheduled, put in a scheduled date, then that's what kicks off the actual notification. So if I have spray routes on 10 different islands that I set as scheduled and they're scheduled for tonight, then the notification event is fired off, and that sends out the push notifications to those people on those islands. Similarly, when spray activity excuse me, is completed, that information is being recorded into FieldSeeker as well, and those recently completed sprays will automatically kick off a notification event as well. There's a similar one for the aerial spray. In the case of Florida Keys, they have spray blocks for the different islands. And so again, change the status to scheduled. There's also provision for if things are delayed or rescheduled due to weather or wind. And so for the truck spray, for example, postponed or incomplete due to wind, rain, or equipment. So if something's scheduled and it has to be changed, then the public will be made aware of that. Some of this information with regard to scheduled spray and recently completed spray is also shared on their public website. So the key point here is that they change this in one place or enter it in one place, and then that information is updated in all places because we're using the same underlying data and we're using ArcGIS Online and the web maps. So for us as Frontier Precision, creating the applications themselves for for Florida Keys took a little bit of time and effort. The sharing of the information and the ArcGIS Online and web map setup was pretty minimal amount of effort. So what we have now is something that's pretty flexible and pretty configurable. So I've got a couple of poll questions that I'd like to ask, and then just to summarize what we saw, I've got kind of a summary slide. But first, I'll ask the poll questions. One is, do you currently notify the public regarding planned or recent activities? And this can be in any way, shape, or form. Do you currently notify the public? Okay, so far about 75% have weighed in on this, and overwhelmingly the answer is yes. Some the answer is no, and some are not sure. So about 86% are saying yes, 10% no. So in some cases, the notification that people are doing, if they're not doing it, it's not because they don't want to, or if they are doing it, maybe they're doing it in ways that are very manual and time consuming. So a lot of people make phone calls to a list of phone numbers or have to do it in some other way. So I'm going to close this poll. The next poll question is how are you notifying? So if you are, and you answered yes in the previous question, what different ways do you currently notify people? And you can make multiple selections here. So if you do it in multiple different ways, please make a note of that. Also, if you're answering other, please, if you don't mind, in the questions panel, type in, or in the chat panel for that matter, type in what you mean by other, if you don't mind sharing that as well. So, all right, about 75% have voted. Looks like a lot of people use their website, about 83%. 50% use social media. About 56% use emails, 56% use phone calls. And as for the other, some people are reporting in SMS messaging, so text messaging through phones or tablets, and then some are saying door-to-door, some are saying newspaper, press release. So all this is great. It really just implies what I think everybody knows, which is that it's no one way that is best to reach people. It's usually a variety of ways, and sometimes adding additional ways to reach people may reach a slice of the constituency that otherwise wouldn't know about it. Other things people are typing in: TV and radio. Yep, so good variety. Appreciate your response on that poll. I have one other poll to ask, and this is, does your district already have an app on the public app stores of any kind, for any reason? Does your district already have an app? Sometimes people already have an app with which they share other kinds of information or something like that. So this is not as common, having an app on the app stores, but it's becoming a little more common. Okay, so far about 80% have voted. 7% are saying yes. And again, if you're saying yes, if you don't mind sharing in chat or questions, let us know what that app is, if you don't mind. And then 7% are saying not sure. So looks like most everybody has voted. Give a couple more minutes for responses there. Okay, so the ones that have answered yes, a couple have replied about what the app is, a 311 app for like the whole county, maybe for mosquito control specifically, and then another's mentioning intergovernmental cooperation. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and close this poll, and I have just kind of a summary slide. I'm going to turn the presentation back to Linda, and then I can talk to this this summary item. So I'll do that. Thanks for following along with the demonstration. So I just, in summary, want to kind of tie together what it is that we saw. As Linda mentioned, the FieldSeeker system has all the operational data entry and storage and retrieval for larviciding, surveillance, and service request. And truck spray missions and aerial spray missions get pushed into FieldSeeker in various ways, either through our Windows ULV software or through direct entry or through import. And then for the public notification, the public notification app ties into that operational data system. It monitors, there's a piece that monitors these events, the scheduled and recently completed events. And then based on those events, it sends notification requests through an API to our notification system. So that web application where the management takes place, there's also an API sitting there just waiting for notification requests. When it receives those requests from whatever system, in this case from FieldSeeker, it will then push those notifications out to the constituents that have subscribed for those events for those areas. Also, any information that's updated in FieldSeeker that is also shared on the website is updated at the same time. And then the notification app pushes requests back to FieldSeeker. So there is interaction with all of these pieces, and the key point is that it's not requiring double or triple entry and that it's dynamic. So that's kind of a summary, and although that's sort of a busy graphic, it does show, you know, kind of all the key components there. So thanks for following along with the demonstration. I'll turn the presentation back to Linda for a few summarizing remarks. And we'll also be looking at your questions, and as Linda mentioned, we'll be responding to those questions. You'll receive the answers after the webinar concludes in an email spreadsheet.
Thanks, Chad. Sure appreciate that. Just a little bit more in review. Again, about our separate apps that all fit together and operate together, but they are separate and each one has their associated costs. We do have our new FieldSeeker Core app, which was for larviciding with storm drain treatment, surveillance, and service request. Then we have our add-on adulticiding extension for truck spray activities, and then our new add-on for a public notification app that works all with FieldSeeker Core. So why choose Frontier for your technology partner? Besides that, we've been in business for 30 years specializing in getting data to the field and back. We've also spent the last 12 years gaining experience supporting and managing services for over 225 mosquito control and public health agencies. So, you know, we are well versed in the workflows and have relationships established, and I guess leverage those relationships to increase our product functionality. Our goal is that our experienced staff handles the technical aspects, so this frees up your resources to focus on mosquito control activities. But we are very dedicated to the support activities that's associated with technical products, and this last year we did formalize a help desk to make it easier to get support. So we do have an automated process that if you contact us with telephone, email, and chat, or through our web form, it does automatically open up a ticket in our support system, and you can receive help with immediately up to 2 hours, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So I know all of our team is very dedicated to make sure that you get the support that you need for our software products. Our company also, supports the mosquito control software development projects, and we do have a dedicated roadmap for continued software development and also increasing support resources as those are needed. And the company itself is poised for continuing growth. We are an employee-owned company, so we all take our success very seriously. And we can't be successful without our partners. Clark is our exclusive sales representative, and this just means that we leverage their outside salespeople who are in contact with mosquito control agencies on a regular basis. They help keep their ear to the ground to know if somebody is needing some type of software solution. If you see one of the Clark people and you do want more information on our products, let them know. They'll get us in contact with you, and Chad and I'll take it from there as far as getting you price quotes or software demos and whatever you need. We have been a long-term Esri Gold partner, and we do have Gold status, which means that we're privy to what their roadmap is for the next year to 18 months. And so that helps keep our product technically aligned so that we can take advantage of all the new things that they release within our products. We do also have a long-term relationship with the Juniper Systems company out of Logan, Utah that manufactures the rugged field computers. And we've been a long-term Trimble GPS or geospatial dealer, both of those companies, since the 80s. For more information, make sure you hit our website. The mosquito page is located at frontierprecision.com/mosquito, or you can go to products and pick mosquito products off the product list there. But there is general information. You can request the technical support from this page as well. If you want more technical information too, you can go to the support tab and go down to the Frontier blog, and we try to post technical articles there, or give you a heads up about new things that are coming there as well. We do have some more webinars scheduled as part of this series, so if you haven't already, take a look at signing up for the January 8th session, which is of drones, so that we can rent those out with our pilot and just provide data if you'd rather too. We do have 2 more webinars that we'll be doing in February that'll be added to the schedule here, and then probably right after the first of the year. One will be where we're going to co-sponsor one with Clark and focus on truck spraying activities. And then we're also going to have a pre-AMCA showing that just give an overview of what we're going to be talking about or displaying there at the conference. So like Chad mentioned, if you have questions, go ahead and enter them in the question section of the GoToWebinar screen there. We're going to leave the webinar open probably for 15 minutes after we get finished here to give you plenty of time to ask whatever you would like. You'll also receive a survey after we close out the webinar, and there you can request pricing. We have a FAQ that goes through the public notification app, or if you'd like to request a your own private web demonstration on the public notification app or any of the other Field Seeker modules, please just let us know through that survey, and I'll be in touch and set things up with you. So again, we just appreciate your time today. We appreciate the business from our current customers, And any new potential customers on the line, we hope that you like what you see, and we look forward to learning more about your applications and be of service to you. And just again, thank you, and please let us know what we can be doing for you. Thank you, everybody.